Hello and welcome to Shaw Spotlight. I am here with Tracy and Adam, and we're here talking today via Zoom. Adam, you're joining us from Thunder Bay. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you, Zoe. It's a pleasure to be here.
And you are riding across the country. You're doing completing your cross Canada ride, all in support of ARVC. Can you explain what ARVC is to our viewers?
ARVC, Arrhythmogenic Ventricular Cardiomyopathy, is an inherited cardiac condition that is electrical based. It causes issues with the electricity flowing through the heart, and as a result, a lot of the symptoms that we hear about associated with the heart stopping or the heartbeat, heart rhythms. Are sometimes symptoms, but unfortunately also the first symptom for many people, like my late wife, is sudden cardiac arrest, often causing death, unfortunately. And that's why we're doing this ride to, first of all, to bring awareness to this disease. It usually takes the lives of young, otherwise healthy people, often athletes, and it's impacted our family and many others across the country. And our family decided enough's enough, and we're going to start to do something about it. And this bike ride is a launch to a family support foundation that we've set up.
Okay, and so I said you're continuing your ride because you actually started this ride last year with COVID, and obviously the amount of time that it takes to actually cross the country. You've split it up over 2 years. So tell me a little bit about this leg of the ride.
Yeah, so this particular leg, as you said, I've split up the 2 years. So I'm heading now, having done the East Coast last year, I'm heading now from Victoria, British Columbia. So on the Pacific Ocean, I started today's day 60, so 60 days ago, paddling towards the east, and I will end up mid-August, around August, hopefully August 18th, back in southwestern Ontario, where I'm from.
Okay, and so Tracy, that's kind of where you come in. Adam will be riding through Sault Ste. Marie, and I know you're heavily involved with awareness here locally. So would you like to share what we have planned in Sault Ste. Marie, where people can come out and show Adam some support as he rides into town?
Absolutely. Well, first off, Adam is arriving in town on August the 6th. He'll be coming in via the West Highway 17, west, I guess. And we will be greeting him upon his arrival in Sault Ste. Marie. We would like as many people to show their support, come out and line up along in front of Perry's Gun Shop, Trading Post, Grand Gardens. And on August the 8th, we're going to be having a dinner for two pasta takeout dinner fundraiser and meet and greet at the Grand Gardens from 4 to 7.
On your journey, I'm wondering how long you kind of stay in places. You've really obviously been able to see the country, unlike many of us. What's been sort of the most unique, maybe welcome or experience along the route?
Great questions. It has been absolutely amazing to be on the ground, seeing the beauty of the country and meeting Canadians, including so many impacted by ARVC. We've met people in every province, starting in Newfoundland last year, which was incredible. And that really was an inspirational start for us, because what a lot of people may not know is that that's where ARVC was first discovered in the world, and it continues to be a hotspot for this disease, unfortunately. And so starting there was really, really impactful, and that really set the tone for the rest of my journey that I've done since then. I've been on the road more than 100 days now on both coasts, and just meeting with people in every city. And I tend to stop in larger centers or places where I know there are families who have reached out through our website, such as Tracy's family, who have been impacted by ARVC, and we're kind of slowing down in those places and really engaging with the community as much as we can.
Signs and symptoms to look out for. What can you share with people that maybe don't know too much about it?
Sure. So the first thing to think about with ARVC, from my experience talking to both families and also to cardiology teams across the country, is your family history. Do you have parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles that you know of that died suddenly of some heart condition that was perhaps undiagnosed, and it's a condition that's not, it's not the typical blood flow blockages. It's not what we call a heart attack, which is where arteries get clogged. It's a cardiac arrest where the electricity of the heart stops beating, which means it's often unexpected. So is there a history of that in your family, of people dying at young age, otherwise healthy seeming people? And then, one of the challenges with the disease, and this was true of my late wife, who she died in 2001, but we weren't diagnosed with ARVC until 17 years after that. That's because the symptoms, if there are any before cardiac arrest, resemble symptoms of many other things, lightheadedness, dizziness, fainting, rapid heart beating, right? There's lots of things that those things could be. There's lots of reasons that cause those types of symptoms. And so even if there are symptoms, we often ignore them or we think it's something else. So it's, it's super important message out there is, if you are, your children or anybody is having those types of symptoms, to get them checked out, and even, push doctors and push cardiologists for second and third opinions, because this disease, like other similar ones, has had devastating effects because the symptoms have been ignored. They're usually mild enough that if they exist at all, that we don't think they're anything big. But trust me, from my experience and many other families that I've met, when you lose somebody, it starts being important. So pay attention to your heart, to your health, especially if you're a high performance athlete.
I know it's hard to talk about. Tracy, for yourself, how important has the foundation been, something to sort of reach out and get some more information and support, and even make connections like Adam?
When we first found out the diagnosis of a family member, we felt so alone. We really didn't know where to turn. There's not a ton of information. It's a fairly uncommon disease and unknown. So when I did reach out to Adam, I was so relieved because there was somebody else that could understand exactly what we were going through. In fact, it was almost too close of a similarity with us. And he was there, he listened, he understood, he offered support, advice. There were other family members that he put me into contact with that also gave very good advice on other issues, because he himself is not impacted by ARVC, but he's had family members. So actual family members that have ARVC contacted me and were able to give me a lot of advice to pass on.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
And Zoe, if I could just add on to that,
Yeah.
like that right there is why we as a family, this is the most important piece. There's the awareness. We think every Canadian needs to know more about this stuff, because we all hear of young people dying suddenly of cardiac arrest without explanation. When my son had his fifth and then most recent cardiac arrest in 2020, we got him home safely to Ontario, and to a care home that he's in. And I sat down with my brothers-in-law who's Tracy is describing, and we said, like, we need to do something. We need to make a difference with this. We can't just sit by and watch it happen. And we all agreed that the biggest thing that we didn't have as early as 2018 was a group of people that we could talk to about how scary this is, and what this feels like to deal with this as whether you're a young person or middle-aged person with this. And so we decided this is going to be the most important thing, is we want a place so that families don't feel alone when they get this diagnosis. And we're like Tracy's family, dozens of families now have reached out to us through our website, and we are building community across this country.
That's the key. When I was searching to try and find some information, it was all either European based, because ARVC is very rampant in Europe, or it was also in the United States that there was support available. But I really needed to ask questions about healthcare, about other supports that were Canadian focus. So when I did actually get to speak with Adam, I had a lot of information that was specific to Canadian families, and that was very, very helpful.
You've had a lot of support on the ride, people riding alongside you, people joining you as you approach town. Is there something that you have kind of in your pocket, maybe in your bag on your bike, that speaks to you, that keeps you going every day?
Oh, that's what a great question. One of the things that I have on my bike, a dear friend of mine who's doing my bike mechanics for me back home and taking care of my machines. He and his wife put great stickers. They produce great stickers, beautiful yellow stickers in our brand logo and our colors and things like that on my bike. And one of the most impactful things for me was I was really fortunate in Calgary to meet a few families, and big things are now happening there in their own community building, that was kind of sparked by my visit there. But one of the families came up to me and they brought me a sticker, and they had no idea that I had these stickers on my bike. But they've been diagnosed and they've got young kids, and they gave me a sticker with their last name on it that matches all mine. So I put that on my bike, and I look at that every day, because that's what it's about. We're doing it for our family, but other families as well. And again, it's right here in Ontario, but in every province.
We talked a little bit about the end. Your target date is coming up. You only have a few weeks left. You're back in Ontario. Where's the finish line?
Waterford, Ontario is where we're ending up. We're gonna cross over the Chichimon into Tobermory and spend a couple of days pedaling south, and we'll be just in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, just southwest of Hamilton in Waterford, Ontario, on August 18th.
The Pasta Dinner for Two fundraiser is at the Grand Gardens on August the 8th from 4 to 7, and it's also a meet and greet. And if you want to come welcome Adam into our lovely community who has been so supportive with everything, line up along the trading in front of the trading post, Perry's Gun Shop, or Grand Gardens on August the 6th. Approximately, I'm thinking, Adam, what time?
That's right in town, right? That's just as we approach town.
Yeah.
So early afternoon, likely early afternoon, sometime around lunchtime.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have more details as we look carefully at the Mile Hill and a few other obstacles that we have pedaling in from Pancake Bay that day. We'll have a look at more details, but we're aiming for around noon, I think, around that in that area.
Okay, well, enjoy the view along along Lake Superior, and be safe, and we'll see you when you get here.
Will do. Thanks so much, Zoe. Thanks, Tracy, for being a part of this.
Thank you very much, guys.